The Pokémon anime has predicted the future in a truly remarkable way. The Pokémon anime has been around for a long time, and technology has changed significantly during that period. However, the series has managed to highlight a common aspect of modern technology: the prevalence of video calls. The world of Pokémon has always been moderately futuristic, as many technologies surrounding Pokémon, such as the Pokéball and storage systems, rely on technology that doesn't exist in the real world. In the first season, this was particularly evident with how often Ash used video phone stations at Pokémon centers to communicate with both his mother and Professor Oak. These video phone calls closely resemble how video calls are made today, and their widespread use certainly reflects modern times. In Pokémon, even though the video phone devices people used seem somewhat outdated, with a phone attached to a screen in their initial appearances, they were updated in later seasons. Ash would speak directly to the screen without holding a corded phone anymore. Video phones were depicted as something almost everyone could access. Pokémon certainly wasn't the first series to depict video phones, but using them regularly as an everyday tool, even replacing audio-only calls, was somewhat unique at that time. Clearly, video calling technology has evolved far beyond what Pokémon envisioned. Most people use compact smartphones that are easy to carry, rather than dedicated calling devices, although such devices do exist. Public phone-style video phones like those seen in Pokémon centers never really became popular, but one could imagine that's just part of the adventure. After all, many situations in Pokémon episodes could be resolved too easily with access to video calling technology at any time. Video phones aren't the only technology in Pokémon ahead of their time. The Pokégear, introduced in the second generation, is essentially a smartwatch with many valuable functions, including the ability to make calls. The Pokénav, introduced in the third generation, functions as a GPS device. However, Pokémon was somewhat slow in adopting smartphones. Perhaps for the reasons mentioned above, they didn't appear in the series until Pokémon Journeys, with the introduction of Rotom phones, which have a Rotom Pokémon embedded inside. Bulbapedia, Bulbagarden.net. It's strange to think of Pokémon as a prophetic series, but at least in these instances, the franchise was a bit ahead of the curve in technological development. It's not necessarily that Pokémon invented these ideas, but rather how they were used in the series reflects quite closely how technology is used in real life. And that's something even science fiction series can struggle to capture.